Warning: this video is entirely my own opinion. Please do not regard this video as me encouraging or discouraging people from playing these games. This video reviews my own experiences, including visuals and audio that I do not own. I provided my own footage and edited my own video. If you do not want to be spoiled and cannot handle swearing or blood, this video is not for you. Please be advised. "2007 was indeed a magnificent year for video games. It was the dawn of an era that spawned many of the blessings and curses of gaming. We got some absolute bangers coming out like Halo 3, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, God of War 2, Portal, Mass Effect, Super Mario Galaxy. Bitches were not playing around this year. Everybody was popping off. Many legendary franchises got their head start because of the release of 7th generation consoles, including one I will discuss in this video, Assassin's Creed.
Wakey, 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 it's time for school.
What the fuck? Now you're probably asking, why am I choosing a game like Assassin's Creed instead of any game from the other franchises that are probably more relevant today? Well, the truth is, I don't really like Assassin's Creed all that much.
I've no interest in your games.
All of my friends that I grew up with and played with on Xbox Live loved Assassin's Creed, and I only really played two of them. That being Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 3, which I didn't really like as much as the former. However, we will touch on that in another video. All I can say is that I thought it would be more interesting to explore everything this franchise has to offer. It could be possible that playing through a franchise that I know nothing about would allow me to make more exciting videos. Whether my apathy towards these games turns into a deep infatuation or an undying hatred towards the franchise forever, anyone can find these opinions about Assassin's Creed equally everywhere. So let's begin. The game takes place in two different timelines simultaneously. Throughout half of the game, you play as a washed-up crack addict named Desmond, who is being held against his own will by what seems to be a mad scientist and his lab assistant. You are helpless to do nothing in a room alone with two unarmed intellectuals despite having enough experience to kill people to be called an ex-assassin. So without any resistance whatsoever, you are coerced into being used as a lab rat. They put you in a machine called the Animus, which allows you to revisit your ancestors' memories stored in your DNA. For some reason, they're trying to access the memories of one of Desmond's 11th century ancestors, Altair, and this is who you'll be playing as for the majority of the game. Right off the bat, Altair is an absolute dumbass. While he is an intelligent person who can grasp and understand the information given to him with ease, he is entirely unwise. He is someone you wouldn't want to trust your life with. He will waste it in a heartbeat. It was made clear that early in the game, Altair is impatient, stubborn, apathetic, and rude as all hell, as he continually neglects and belittles his peers and ignores his master's teachings.
You have already broken 2 tenets of our creed. Now you would break the 3rd. Do not compromise the Brotherhood.
I am your superior, in both title and ability. You should know better than to question me.
Damn, bro. He was a delinquent of his time. At this point, I thought that hopefully Altair would learn a few things about patience and empathy that would allow him to make better decisions. But even as I am writing the script, Altair continues to be an absolute asshole.
Remind you how it is we hunt our prey.
I know how it works.
Be that as it may, I have no desire to disobey.
Then be quick.
The Assassin have many tools at their disposal.
Yes, yes.
At the beginning of the game, Altair, sent with 2 lesser experienced assassins, attempts to recover some personal artifact coveted by the enemy faction that will be the significant antagonist group for the rest of the franchise, the Templars. Instead of being like an actual assassin and waiting until your enemy turns away to do something significant, Altair just walks up to these fully armed and dangerous individuals expecting to kill them after telling them that he's going to kill them. It kind of makes you wonder how he even got to stay within the organization to begin with. Anyway, because Altair showed monkey syndrome symptoms, he had put the lives of his peers at risk, seemingly killing them in the process while not even being able to retrieve the artifact that seems to be super duper important. But at least he tried to kill the enemy. He has that going for him, right? Wrong, because when he came back, so did one of the surviving assassins who had to tell their master that Altair's brain is drier than the desert the game takes place in. So as a form of punishment, the master stabs Altair in front of all all the other students, seemingly killing him, except he comes back brand spanking new as if none of that ever happened. The master explains to Altair that he has to relearn how to be an assassin, and when he does, he will earn his weapons back. After sending Altair on one mission to interrogate someone, he gave him his weapons back. To serve as a challenge to the player and keep the story moving forward, the master assigns you to kill 9 politically and financially influential figures throughout the game. This is the part that I should enjoy the most because I have a great disdain for rich folk.
You dare disrespect me?
I meant no.
Each time you assassinate these bosses, they reveal a clue connecting both the character and the player to the mystery surrounding the game's plot. From what I know so far, most if not every Assassin's Creed game has this formula. Honestly speaking, at first I thought the game was ugly as fuck. Of course, this game is an early way of exploring the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3's processing capabilities. That was, as of now, over a decade ago. Don't get me wrong, at the time of this game's release, not many other games pushed these consoles' graphical limitations except for a select few. The colors are washed out and have a yellow-grayish tint, which makes complete sense as this game in its entirety takes place in a Middle Eastern Mediterranean environment. I would say that after the first few hours of gameplay, I found myself willing to let go of my attachment to modern graphical standards, which allowed me to enjoy the charm of this game's aesthetic a lot more. The game was also a lot bigger than I initially thought. With several areas to explore and look at, you'll find yourself wandering for hours as you try to 100% this game. Because of this, I would find myself immersed while playing the game despite its graphical limitations. One thing that certainly kept me playing and interested in this game is the Easter egg hunt that involves collecting all of the flags scattered throughout the map. They even offered you a way to get around quicker: horses. The horse controls are nothing to look twice at. All you do is hop on the horse and boom, you're going faster. That's it. The combat is fucking terrible. Like, this is some absolute booty munch ass combat. If you like combat gameplay in Assassin's Creed 1, congratulations. You probably like candle wax and glitter in your cereal every morning, you fucking saddle goose. I'd rather smoke crack than say anything nice about this game's combat mechanics on my mother. I find myself brainlessly slapping the X button harder than I slap my meat on a Friday evening. It's a real shame that a game about being an undercover assassin involves this much brainless button mashing. I don't even mash my potatoes this hard. It's insane. How do you let this happen? Anyway, after bashing my right thumb into the controller for 30 seconds straight, I was rewarded by talking to people while combat music dominantly overpowers their voice.
Sons were half as brave as you. I'll see to it that they hear this tale and know what it is to be a true hero.
What? By the way, the cutscenes in this game sometimes has horrible voice acting, which lacks the emotional impact required to make a scene that would otherwise feel dramatic seem mediocre at best.
I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Oh!
I cannot abide a traitor.
I am not a traitor.
Some of the characters in this game are also loud as fuck for absolutely no reason.
And tell me why he's doing that, or you gets melted down next.
One of my inner thoughts was, I can't wait to finally finish this long fucking game. The coolest part about any Assassin's Creed game should be the movement. Parkour is what sold this game to so many people, as it was the hip thing to do in 2007. Unfortunately, my previous experiences while playing later Assassin's Creed games spoiled what I could have had in Assassin's Creed 1. When I scale buildings and leap over alleyways, all I see is an unpolished version of something that I've already had the grace of experiencing. In a way, the parkour system in Assassin's Creed 1 makes me feel nostalgic for when I used to play Brotherhood. Eventually, I realized how stupid the AI in this game was. At some point, it was so hard to be detected by the AI that I just stopped putting forth any effort whatsoever. Ultimately, nobody really has to play stealth in this game unless it's absolutely required of them. Alright folks, everything you've heard from me before this section of the video was my first impression of this game within the first couple of hours of gameplay. As of now, I have just beaten Assassin's Creed. This game changed my life. And I'm not saying that like I just witnessed a miracle of God and became his messenger. I mean in a way similar to how I just came home after being kidnapped and raised in a crack house for several years. Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. This game puts you through the same old shit every single time without stop. Wake up, Miles. Get an animus. Hello, Altair. Kill this man. I kill him. I say you're bad. They say no, you. I run away. Wake up, Miles. Get in the Animus. Hello, Altair. Kill this man. I kill him. I say you're bad. They say no you. I run away.
Let's go, Mr. Miles. Get in the Animus.
And I'm confident that this is but the first.
No. Then who?
The city belongs to its people.
You have no business here.
When will it end? But each time I go through this cycle, the game itself seems to blur itself more and more. It appears that the longer I play this game, the more the game itself tries to aggressively annoy me. The more progress I make, the more the gameplay, the plot, the dialogue, and the entire game tries to make me bawl prematurely. The little things that didn't mean much during my first hours of gameplay got progressively worse, as it got to the point that it completely disrupts the game's flow. It was no longer a game for my enjoyment. It quickly became an arduous chore that I had the displeasure of looking forward to every evening. I am completely serious. The idea of washing dishes and folding laundry was more exciting than continuing to play this garbage ass game. Altair listens to their final words every time he assassinates someone, and guess what they usually think at these exact moments? I'm just gonna start capping. That's right, they just start fucking trolling you with these pompous, mind-numbing, mundane, run-of-the-mill I know you are but one of my villain monologue ligma jokes. And each time that they do that, Altair questions his actions more and more, while also revealing smack in the middle of the game that Altair's master is the real bad guy all along.
Among Us!
To put it shortly, you remember that artifact that I brought up earlier on in the video? Well, it turns out that that is what you call a piece of Eden, or I don't know, the fucking apple of Eden or some shit. All I can say is that it allows you to basically put everybody around you on LSD, and then they obey your every command or some dumb shit like that. Well, you see, the master at first really liked the assassins. Actually, it turns out he never liked the assassins at all. Each time you talk to him, he becomes more and more of a coon. You know, Altair would come back to his master's office and say, hey, I killed those Templars you were talking about, but they were actually kind of spitting some mad facts though. And then the master would turn around and say, they're fucking lying, you fucking dumbass, don't listen to what they say. While the whole time he was slurping them under the table. He was slurping off the white man. It's insane. So obviously after figuring this out, you go back to your hometown and guess what? Everybody in the entire town is on that coon chip brainwashing, bro. I'm telling you. So you and your buddies with your koofies on march up to where the master's at. And as soon as you get there, you know, you're like, you know what, I'll just stay there by myself. I'll fight him by myself. So you try to fight him by yourself, but then he just pulls out the piece of Eden and he starts psycho cucking you. Like, yeah, you're not gonna move. You're not gonna move a damn muscle. And then he lets you move, and then you kill him. Let's fucking go. The end. That's it. That's it. That's the rest of the game. That's all you find out. Oh yeah, that's right. At the end, yeah, there's like 50 billion other pieces of Eden scattered throughout the entire world. And that's the whole reason why they wanted to access your ancestors' memories. Isn't that crazy? You know, like the company or the mad scientist or whatever has been holding you against your will to find where all these fucking Dragon Balls are. This game is like fake deep, but like it's like fake deep. It's like it's kind of deep, but it's just like fake deep enough to be fake deep. At this point, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm so tired. I barely had any sleep. I fell asleep and woke up 3 times to Assassin's Creed on my screen on my computer. I don't want to do this anymore. But guess what? Guess what we have coming up next? That's right, Assassin's Creed 2. So stay tuned and make sure you like my video, comment, subscribe, you know, if you want to see more. But please, for the love of God, don't ask me to do anything else. Those ads on like random websites, this game will make you come in 5 minutes. This game did not make me come in 5 minutes. I gotta tell you.
Oh, stupid.